Hey, how's it going everybody? Sinful Duck here, and welcome to another Grim Dawn video. Today, we are going to take a look at our Chaos Flames of Ignaffar Deceiver. This guy is a complete brute. I mean, he's technically, I guess he's a caster, but he's doing tons of weapon damage. He can get right up in everybody's face and just face tank just about anything. Hopefully you guys enjoy this build. If you do, make sure you give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more Grim Dawn content, and let's go ahead and dive into this guy. Okay, so here we are in game. So let's go ahead and start off with the gear. First thing we'll go through here is that we are running the Black Flame set. This is going to give us chaos damage. It's going to give us lots of chaos resist reduction, so very nice set to run for this type of thing. It's also, the weapon here is going to give us flat chaos damage added to our Flames of Ignaffar, and it's going to make our Ignaffar reduce the target's damage, so makes it a little bit easier to tank. So the Black Flame set consists of the weapon, the helmet, the offhand, and the shoulders. Next up, our amulet. We are running the Conduit of Runic Whispers. This is giving us some nice resists, as well as +1 all Inquisitor, but it's giving us 18% more weapon damage on Flames of Ignaffar, and it's giving Ignaffar a chance to impair their aim. Our rings, we are using dual Void Hearts. This is giving us some chaos damage, +2 to possession, but the big reason why we're using 2 Void Hearts is for the fire damage converted to chaos. That is huge for what we're trying to do here. So you can see here on the weapon we get 35% there. We're getting 27% on this ring and 30% on this ring. So the more we can get of that, the better. Because what we're doing is we're converting anything that we do that has fire damage. We want it to be chaos, including our Flames of Ignaffar. So that has a mutator that does that, so no big deal there, but we do have some other things here like Word of Pain that is dealing fire damage that we don't want it to deal fire damage. Next up, the Void Steel Gauntlets. We're running these. We're getting +3 Soleil's Witchfire, which gives us lots of flat damage, so our weapon damage percent really benefits from that. +2 Flames of Ignaffar, and then flat chaos damage. Look at that range though, 275 to 4121. That's a huge range there, but it does make Flames of Ignaffar hit really hard. Boots, we're wearing Stone Hide, Stone Plate Greaves of Featherstep. You could find some better boots for this position if you wanted to, but that's what I've got, so that's just what I threw in for now. The belt, Mythical Cord of Deception, +1 all Inquisitor, very important there. Arcane Harmony Leggings. We're using these because they do give us some all damage, but they give us a huge amount of spirit, DA, and armor. So very important there for defensive purposes. But we also get the Elemental Blast, which is dealing main hand damage, percent main hand damage. Our main hand damage is chaos, which is very good for us. And then it's also dealing 4289 elemental damage, which we are converting a large portion of that into chaos. So this actually hits really hard when it goes off. The chest, I got extremely lucky with this, and I got the Stonehide Valexteria's Arcane Robes of Soul Warding. Again, probably not best in slot for this, but it fits so well. Gives us +3 to Infernal Purge, and look at all the crap on there. There's so many stats on this thing. Why not use it, right? So we skipped over 2 that were kind of important here, so let's go back and touch on those. First off, the Relic, Ignaffar's Combustion. So with this, we're getting flat elemental, which we're converting the fire into chaos damage. We're getting percent chaos and all that, +1 Inquisitor, but the Ignaffar's Combustion skill, 15% chance on attack. It hits a 7-meter radius, which is actually really large. 6-second duration, and it's dealing fire damage, which we're converting to chaos, but it's dropping chaos resistance by 10%. So that's the reason we have that on right there, is it's going to deal nice damage. It's also going to drop resistances. Same with our metal, the mythical Black Star of Deceit. We're getting percent chaos, attack damage converted to health, which is very, very nice. Plus 3 Soul's Witchfire, plus 2 Second Right, so more flat damage out of those. But the skill is really why I chose to use this. And I just want to take a second here and say thank you to somebody you guys, most of you probably know, Mordecai Mike. Thank you for helping me out. He did give me some suggestions for gear and devotions and whatnot for this build, so quick shout out to him. Thank you for the help with the build. I'll leave a link to his channel down in the description, so you guys go check him out if you haven't already. Make sure you subscribe to him as well. We're using the metal for the Black Star skill, 100% chance on crit with only a 3-second cooldown. This basically drops a chaos meteor. Drops that down, does crazy good damage, and gives you flat resist reduction to all resist, so extremely strong right there. Our physical resist is 16%, but check this out. We drop this, and now all of a sudden our physical resist is 44%. So we're getting a huge amount of physical resist there. And this is the skill that comes from the Black Flame set. It's the ritual circle that you see right there. Alright, let's move along to the skills now. On the occultist side, we have Sigil Consumption along with Destruction. Soleil's Witchfire, as high as we can possibly get that thing. Second Right, we've got Possession pumped up as high as we can get it. Blood of Dreeg, 19. Aspect of the Guardians at 12, and that is it for the occultist side. On the Inquisitor side here, we've got Word of Renewal at 16. Vigor's at 5. Steel Resolve at 6. Word of Pain, we've got 8 points there. We've got 5 out of 12 here because this increases the radius there, which is very nice. And then we do have a lot of points here in Death Sentence because this is giving us 26% chaos resist reduction. So we pump up Death Sentence as high as we can. We've got it at 13 out of 12. Word of Pain, I believe that's only 1 point, but there'll be a Grim Tools link down below so you guys can check that all out later. But as you can see, we've got Eldritch Fire attached to this, so that's a ton of chaos resist reduction on one skill right there. We've got Rune of Hagared. 1 point in that, I believe, so we're at 5 out of 16. Same thing here with Biting Cold, 5 out of 12. And the reason we have this is not because it's doing a ton of damage for us, but because with 1 point here in Biting Cold, we're getting 110 DA reduction to the target. So really, really strong DA reduction there. 12 out of 12 on Deadly Aim. Inquisitor Seal, 12 out of 12 for that damage absorption. And Arcane Empowerment at 16 out of 12. That's giving us a ton of all damage. 19% crit damage, but it's giving us flat elemental and pierce damage. So that elemental, we're converting a large portion of that into chaos damage. So really, really strong when you're standing in your Inquisitor Seal. And then, of course, we have Flames of Ignaffar. So we've got we've got the main skill maxed out here, 26. We did take the Tainted Flame. This is increasing total damage by 10%. It's converting all the fire damage to chaos and all the lightning into vitality. So we've got fire coming out of this side, which you can see is now says chaos. We're doing lightning over here, which it says lightning still, but if you look at the lightning damage to vitality, it should say vitality, but it doesn't. So lightning damage, that's doing vitality. Right here, we're getting huge amount of crit damage, and the electrocute is now actually vitality decay. So the percent fire and lightning really isn't helping us, but I've got 19 out of 12 here just for the huge amount of crit damage we're getting. And 12 out of 12 here, Endless Flame. because this is giving us skill cost reduction, which is extremely important with a skill like this that you channel, that ticks fast, and has such a high cost. So that is the skills. Let's jump to the devotions. I'll kind of just rush through these real quick, but you can see we have the Fiend here with Flame Torrent. We have that tied to our Inquisitor seal, so as things get close, it'll proc this and do a ton of damage. We've got the Wretch. We took the Lizard, the Eel, the Solemn Watcher for the huge DA buff. Coming down here, we've got the Hawk, because why not? Hawk is awesome. The Raven. We've got Soleil's Witchblade for the Eldritch Fire. We have the Ghoul just as an oh crap button. So we get the Ghoulish Hunger ability there, which isn't quite finished leveling yet, but getting close. And the Ghoulish Hunger, when that procs and you get another 16% physical resist on top of the 44 we already have, you become almost impossible to kill with all this. So it's great. Coming down here, we have the Behemoth with Giant's Blood. We've got Ultwin's Torch to pick up the Meteor Shower. And you might be saying, why do you take Meteor Shower? You take Meteor Shower because look at all the fire damage that it has on there. And we're converting almost all that fire damage into Chaos. So we're essentially dropping Chaos Meteors on them. So really, really cool. And then, of course, with the Chaos build, Chaos and Vitality, we have Dying God. Hungering Void has given us a huge amount of damage there, and we also spent the last point here in Dying God to pick up that flat Chaos. So that is all the devotions. Awesome. So yeah, that's the build there. I know I went through it a lot faster than usual, but if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments down below. There'll be a Grim Tools link down there as well if you guys want to see the build in a little bit more detail. And yeah, enjoy the gameplay that's about to come. Subscribe for more. And until next time, guys, take it easy.